let's move to your different role that you had sometime earlier. You've been the young European ambassador. So tell us, please, how did you become the young European ambassador? How did you obtain that role?
Yeah, I support Euro-Atlantic integration of Ukraine. That's why I think that Ukraine should build like resilient relations with European Union to become its member like one day. Maybe not today, not tomorrow, not the next year, but one day. Yeah, that's why we need to make a consistent work for this. One of the part of the public diplomacy of European Union in Ukraine is institution of young European ambassadors. It's a young person who shares the values of European Union and want to know more about its functioning and to work in a cooperation with the representation of EU in Ukraine and in other countries. So it's not only Ukraine related. It's initiative related to European neighborhood policy. So Eastern neighborhood and South neighborhood. It's a huge one, yeah. And within framework, where EU also works with young persons. And I wanted to contribute. I wanted to know how does this work? How can I contribute as an individual to promoting the agenda of European integration, yeah, and what to do. Now, actually, I'm doing the same stuff. First, the things that ADASTRA helps Ukraine to become a creative, more resilient player to better cope with European states and with the European Union. But back then, I wanted to know how on the institutional level, on individual level, one person can make a difference with this direction within the Euro integration. And that's why, I don't know, I have seen in internet the call for young European ambassadors, have filled the application form, writing them some stuff about why I want to do that. Wait a couple of months and here I am. And I guess for almost 2 years, I was one among 100 of incumbent young European ambassadors in Ukraine.
I think that this initiative and its description sound really quite exhaustive and impressive and important for the Ukrainian reality. But you are already out of this experience and out of this role, as I understand. So what did this experience give you in terms of that maybe personal growth, maybe professional development, maybe something else? Like, what are the main things that the young European ambassador initiative gave you?
Yeah, first thing, it's a network, was a network of an open-minded and proactive person working with me in this initiative. It's about the next generation of Ukrainian leaders with which I can cooperate in ADASTRA or outside of ADASTRA, at some point of my life. It's a network of proactive, open-minded person, which one day will become so-called big persons, and that's why it's a positive experience to have connection with open-minded youngsters. Yeah. Secondly, it's about the understanding how the reforms place of the European Union, because it's young European ambassador initiatives. It's one part of the bigger pattern, of the pattern of public diplomacy of European Union, of about how EU sees Ukraine, or something like this. And on this level, I have been encountered with institutional cooperation, with my tiny little projects, but with altogether within the great pattern of neighborhood policy. And this helped me to better understand the relations between EU and Ukraine. And last but not least, it's about my personal development, my personal growth, about the project management, problem solving, communication, all the kind of soft skills. Yeah, I upgraded my soft skills working for a good project, and now I can use it use my upgraded soft skills in my own project. Yeah, it's also about professional development.
So you've talked about the projects that you made on that position. What do you consider to be your biggest achievement on that position? Maybe there's an incredible project that you made real and that is efficient, or maybe there's something different that can be put into that mold, you know?
Yeah, so I wasn't the only one, but with a team of guys who were working on a project in environmental one. It was about devoted to environmental reforms, to environmental cooperation, and it was more than just garbage collection. Yeah, garbage collection is important, absolutely. Have nothing to say about this. But we were working about some more systemic knowledge, so analyzing some how the ecological reform take place, how will be they implemented, or why have not they been implemented, to make it expertise, to show what can be done on the level of use, or the level of civil activism, how the people can contribute to pushing forward the environmental agenda. So it was a continuous project within which I was involved, and I guess my primary contribution was to give into this project additional strengths, to making more events, cooperating with more people, to make it more environmentally friendly, and to make my contribution towards pushing environmental reforms in Ukraine.